If someone commits non-capital murder, the least amount of time they can stay in prison has gone up from 15 years to 45 years. Now, for capital murder, the person must now spend at least 50 years in prison before they can even ask to be let out early.
The government also changed the law for children who commit murder. If a child commits capital murder, they can be sent to prison for life or for at least 30 years.
But they may ask for parole after 15 years. No, if a child commits non-capital murder, they can still be sent to prison for life or for a shorter time if the court thinks it's the right thing to do.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says the amended law show how important life is and that people who hurt others must face.
Jamaica has dramatically changed its laws for murder, imposing much longer prison terms across the board. For the most serious crime, capital murder, offenders who previously might have been considered for parole after about 20 years must now serve a mandatory 50 years before a chance at release, or they may face life imprisonment with no possibility of parole at all. This adjustment is part of a broader redefinition, where the legal term life sentence has been extended from 30 years to 50 years. Sentences for non-capital murder have also escalated. Parole eligibility has moved from roughly 15 years to a mandatory 30 years or more. These changes effectively eliminate the old belief that life sentences could be significantly shortened through good behavior, ensuring that incarceration terms are now substantially longer. The government argues these tougher reforms are necessary to restore public trust in the justice system, claiming that citizens felt killers were not receiving punishments that fit the severity of their crimes. Many Jamaicans, especially in areas hit hardest by violence, support the harsher sentences, viewing them as both a necessary deterrent and a form of justice for victims. However, critics warn that while these measures satisfy the public's demand for toughness, they take away much of the freedom and judgment from judges and parole boards. They also caution that these long sentences may severely strain the correctional system without actually addressing the fundamental causes of violent crime. The larger consequence is that Jamaica has formally declared that a person convicted of capital murder should not realistically expect to return to society within their lifetime. The state is signaling that murder will be met with penalties designed to permanently separate offenders from the public. Supporters see this as a decisive move to protect citizens and uphold justice, while opponents worry that it risks breaching human rights standards and could ultimately be more symbolic than truly effective if not paired with serious improvements in law enforcement and crime prevention efforts.
Here's everything you need to know. He announced in the recent post-cabinet briefing that under the amendment, capital murder, the new mandatory minimum sentence before being eligible for parole is now 50 years, up from 20 years. Non-capital murder, mandatory minimum sentence raised to 30 years. For life sentences, the minimum time before parole was increased from 15 years to 40 years under certain conditions. For sentences of years, not life, the period before being eligible for parole is now 20 years. Holness said these changes show the government is very serious about crime and emphasized that victims matter. We can't have people serving small sentences then returning to commit more murders. He also noted crime reductions. As of April 2025, murders were down 36.6% and major crimes down 18.2% compared to last year. If you ask me, this is a bold move, sending a message that murder will come with heavy consequences. What do you think? Are tougher sentences enough to stop crime in Jamaica? Comment your take.
50 years for capital murder in Jamaica.
Andrew Holness, I apologize. To the JLP people, I apologize. Yes, sir, you get the raise. Yeah, your friend them take the raise, but yeah, work. You're working. Mr. Andrew Holness, you are working. 50 blood clot years for capital murder. Bomboras, the amount of snitching we go on right now. Can no man go sit down na 50 years, no man. No man rub no 50 years, no man. But a man will go rub a 15 or a 20 for you. No man rub no 50. Me bombo blood clot. Hey, would love kill. And then for the young youth, them who believe say would I get with too. Would have to sit down in a prison 15 bombo clot years. 15 years before them release you, before you're eligible for parole. And if you're an adult, it is 50 years before you're eligible for parole. Pussy clot. Hey, Andrew, you okay now? Andrew, I your fuck. I to the vote for. And that I would have vote for. Andrew, big up yourself on the one day. Me have to give him props for that. Because if this no cut crime, nothing will. If them a type of sentence in there, no cut crime in Jamaica, nothing will. 50 bumble rascal out here, mandatory. You have to serve before you can even get no form of parole. Me bumble rascal out. And if you're a juvenile, what they want to call the fucking word? Yeah. You have to do 15 before? The fuck out. Don't want to take life. Alright. Go sit down and say some man then. For 50 blood clot years. You know the problem with this I start now? Me glad though. But it's a clean street. A whole heap of man I drop. Whole heap of people family I get dropped. Because guess what? No man nah sit down and rub no 50. Man I go bust up them blood clam out, you know. And now that she say, now for them so-called gangsters who would look up and respect, I snitch them.